السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. This is Mr. Ibrahim Gamal. Welcome Junior 6 students from all over Egypt. Welcome to the first session in the second term. Okay, let's start with Unit 1, Celebrating Creativity. Again, the title of the unit is Celebrating Creativity. Okay, do you know what is the meaning of creativity? Creative people have a lot of ideas to improve their life and other people's life. Okay, he can solve the problems so easily because he's creative. Like Muhammad Salah is creative is in playing football and scoring goals. Okay, let's start with lesson 1. Lesson 1 entitled A Visit to the Art Gallery. Art gallery is a place where you can go to watch, okay, a lot of pieces of art, pictures, statues, sculptures, and so on. Okay, a visit when you go to the art gallery. Let's start with number 1, vocabulary. Vocabulary. Key vocabulary means the most important vocabulary in this lesson. Number 1, whisper. Whisper. Repeat after me. Whisper. You whisper when, okay, you speak quietly so 1 or 2 people can hear you. When you speak quietly so 1 or 2 people can hear you. Whisper. Okay, it's just silent, by the way. Number 2, canvas. Canvas. So this word consists of 2 syllables. The first one is stressed. So the first syllable is stressed. So it's called canvas. Canvas. Okay, so it's a piece of clothes. It's a piece of clothes that the artists use to paint or draw in it. Okay, canvas. Paintbrush. Paintbrush. So it's a soft tool that the artist can use to paint pictures, like you can see in the picture. Paintbrush. Okay, palette. Palette. Repeat after me. Okay, it's so important to repeat. Yes, palette. Excellent. Okay, palette means a flat piece of wood, for example, where the artist can mix color, like you can see in this picture. He put the colors together, he can mix it, okay, to be able to draw. Carve. 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 Okay, to cut. This is a sculpture, and this sculpture is cutting in this piece of stone to make a statue or a sculpture. He cut in a piece of stone or in a piece of wood to make a sculpture. Sculpture. So this sculpture carved in this piece of wood or piece of stone to make a sculpture. Sculpture. Okay. So sculpture is a statue that the sculptor made. Okay. Masterpiece. Masterpiece. Okay, masterpiece is a very beautiful piece of art. Okay, it is made with a great skill. Like this. This is the most important and the most popular picture in the world. Its name is Mona Lisa. Okay, this is a masterpiece. Masterpiece is a very important piece of art made by great skill. Okay, art gallery. Art gallery is a place where you go to watch pieces of art. Art gallery. Okay, let's go to the etc. vocabulary. Ancient. Ancient. See, I make the sound sh. Ancient means very old. Ancient. Pottery. Pottery things that are made of clay. Okay, pottery. Pottery. Statue. Statue. Painting. Painting. Okay, painting is a piece of art which is painted by an artist. Painting. Powerful. Powerful means it's very strong. Okay, mural. Mural. Do you know what is the meaning of mural? When the artist draw or paint on a wall, this is called a mural. When he paint on a wall. Mural. Inspired. Inspired. When you get your aspiration or inspiration from someone. So a lot of Egyptian youth are inspired by Muhammad Salah. Okay? Artist. Artist. Okay, right away. Right away means now, immediately, right away. Okay, let's go to the conjugation of verbs to find out how can we change the verb to be, okay, from present to be in the past. Okay, we have two kinds of verbs, regular and irregular verbs. Regular verbs, we add d, ed, or ied to change them from being in present to be in the past. But irregular verbs doesn't follow this rule. They change, okay, from being in present to be in the past, and we need to memorize them. Okay, let's read the regular verbs together. Wish. When you wish something to happen, wish, wished. We add ed. Display, display, displayed. Admire. When you like something so much, you admire it. Okay, admire, admired. We add just D at the end of admire because it ends in a magic E. Okay, let's move to the irregular verbs. Take, talk, take, talk. Feel in present, felt in the past. Okay, now let's move to important expressions and prepositions. Walk into. When you get into or you walk into, this means that you enter this place. Okay, on a canvas. On a canvas. Okay, let's move to the next page and study these definitions. Okay, yes, number one, whisper. Whisper means to speak quietly so only one or two people could hear you. Number two, canvas. Canvas, the surface often cloth, okay, made of clothes like our clothes, okay. The surface often clothes an artist paint on. They paint on a piece of cloth. Number three, paintbrush. Paintbrush, a soft tool used by artists to put paint on a picture. Okay, he used this tool, he used this paintbrush to take the color and put it in the picture to paint. Okay, palette. Palette. A flat board artists use to mix colors. A flat board, okay, it's made of plastic, it's made of wood, okay, that the artists use to mix colors, like we have just mentioned. Carve. Carve. To cut, okay, or shape wood or stone to make art. This is the meaning of carve. Sculpture. Sculpture. A piece of art made by shaping stone, wood, or metal. So it's a piece of art like a statue, okay? The artists make it by stone, wood, or metal. Masterpiece, a beautiful piece of art made with great skill. A beautiful piece of art made with great skill. Okay, main points on listening and reading text. What is the topic for today? A visit to the art gallery. So let's go to the art gallery with Lily. Okay, Lily was a young artist who loved drawing. She loved to draw. One Saturday, Lily's family took her to an art gallery. Lily saw huge paintings, beautiful pottery, and a giant wooden statue. Lily felt inspired and decided to start her own masterpiece. Okay, so let's answer these questions together. Okay, the pop quiz. First question, choose the correct answers from A, B, C, or D. Number one, an artist always uses a paintbrush and a palette. So the artist uses a paintbrush to paint, to take the colors and put it in the picture, and he uses a palette, this board, to mix colors. He doesn't use wallet to put money in. He doesn't use toothpaste to brush his teeth or robot. Okay, he uses a paintbrush and palette. Okay, she was spaced by her father's success. She was inspired. When she saw her successful father, she wants to be like him. Okay, so she was inspired by her father. Okay, he space to me because he didn't want anyone to hear. He whispered. Okay, he whispered to me because he didn't want anyone to hear. We saw wonderful sculptures in the art. We saw wonderful sculptures in the art gallery. Okay, not in the art pool, not in the art tomb, or in the forum. Okay, listening and reading. Listen and read. Let's read it together. A visit to the art gallery. Yes. Okay, please look at your book if you have a book, or look at the board, please. You know, Lily was a young artist who loved to draw. You know, we use you know to attract your attention. Okay, I'm telling you a story, and in an informal way, I want to attract your attention. I want you to listen to me carefully and to look at me. I say, you know, Lily was a young artist who loved to draw. So one Saturday, her family took her to a big art gallery. Oh, she was so excited. So this article, or this descriptive article, is written in an informal way because he used these sounds. Okay? Yes. Wow, she whispered. Wow, look at that. First, she saw these huge paintings on a canvas. She said, she said, I wish I had my paintbrush and palette with me right now. Let's go down. Then they walked into a room with beautiful pottery and a giant wooden statue that an artist used to carve. It looked so strong and powerful. Lily also loved a strange, colorful sculpture. She even saw a huge, bright mural on the wall. Her mom pointed to a very old painting. This, she said, is a masterpiece, like the Mona Lisa. Lily felt so inspired by everything she saw. She couldn't wait to go home and start her own masterpiece right away. Okay, she was inspired by this visit to the art gallery. Okay, yes. Answer the following question. Make logical reference. For example, why was Lily excited during her visit to the art gallery? Because she saw many amazing works. How did Lily feel at the end of the visit? Okay, how did she feel? She felt excited at the end of the visit, okay, because she was inspired. She felt so inspired by everything she saw, and she felt excited to start her own masterpiece. Okay, now it's time to answer questions on page 13. General exercises on lesson 1. Okay, let's listen to the text. Okay, please stop the video or pause the video, okay, and answer these questions, these 2 pages on your own, and come back to check your answers with me. Okay? Yes, thank you. Let's listen to the text of the first question or first exercise. Lily was a young artist who loved to draw. She went to a big art gallery. She saw huge paintings on a canvas. She loved a strange, colorful sculpture there. She felt very inspired at the end of the visit. Okay, let's answer these questions. Lily was a young singer. No, she wasn't a young singer. Okay, so that's false. Lily went to a big art gallery. Yes, that's true. The huge paintings were on a canvas. Yes, that's true. Okay. Lily felt bored at the end of the visit? No, she felt excited. She felt inspired at the end of the visit. So that's false. Okay? So now let's move to the next exercise. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. First question. A space is a soft tool used by artists to paint a picture. Okay, so this is a paintbrush. Sorry, a paintbrush. Okay, the artist's final painting was a true space that everyone admired. Okay, so the artist's final painting was a true masterpiece because it was made with a great skill. Okay, so it was a true masterpiece that everyone admired. Let's move to number 3. She saw a huge paintings space a canvas on a canvas. When you draw or paint on a canvas. Okay, number 4. Lily walked space a room with beautiful pottery. Okay, so Layla walked into. Okay, yes. Now let's move to exercise 3. Read and complete the text with the words in the box. Palette, gallery, statue, weight, huge. Lily was a young artist who loved to paint, to draw. So one Saturday, her family took her to a big art gallery. Thank you. She was so excited. First, she saw huge paintings on a canvas. Huge paintings on a canvas. She wished she had her paintbrush and palette. Okay, with her. Then they walked into a room with beautiful pottery and a giant wooden statue. Okay, that an artist used to carve. It looked so strong and powerful. So this statue looked so strong and powerful. Okay, now let's move to a very important question. Read the text and answer the questions. Okay, so let's read it together again. Omar was a young photographer who loved taking pictures. One sunny Friday, his family took him to a big photo gallery. He was very excited to see all the beautiful works of art. First, he saw huge colorful photos showing mountains, rivers, and cities at night. He thought about how amazing it was. Then he walked into another room filled with old black and white portraits and creative photos. One large portrait of a famous singer looked so real and full of expressions. Omar's favorite part was a photo of the Nile shining under the moonlight. His mother pointed at it and said, "This is a true masterpiece." Omar felt inspired by everything he saw. He couldn't wait to go home and start taking wonderful pictures himself. Okay, so the story of Omar looks like the story of Lily, but he's a photographer, but Lily was a painter. Okay, so let's answer the questions on the next page. And it's okay to go back to the passage to make sure that you choose the correct answer. Okay, this text is about a school trip, a huge statue, photo gallery, or a wooden artwork. So of course it's about a photo gallery. The underlying word amazing means wonderful. Okay, so it doesn't mean boring, poor, or weak. Okay, what was the mother's opinion about the photo of the Nile? Okay, she said, okay, it's a true masterpiece. Okay, Why did Omar love the portrait of the famous singer? Okay, because it was so real. It was so real and full of expressions. Okay, and full of expressions. Summarize the first paragraph of a text in one sentence. Let's go back to the first paragraph. Okay, this is the first paragraph. It starts with Omar and ends with art. Okay, so Omar was a young photographer who loved taking pictures. Okay, so this is a very good sentence. Okay, this could be a summary for the first paragraph, because when you write a paragraph, you start with a general statement, okay, in the topic sentence. So Omar was a young photographer who loved taking pictures. It's a good answer for question number 5. Now, let's go to put these words in the order and in the correct order to make sentence. For example, the artist, okay, the artist uses, okay, a palette to mix colors. To mix colors. Okay, yes, so the statue. Okay, so the statue looks so strong and powerful. Okay, so the statue looks so strong and powerful. Now let's move to exercise 6. Punctuate the following. Let's start the sentence with a capital letter. So T must be capital at the beginning, and you need to highlight it with 2 lines under it. So the museum displayed beautiful stone sculpture. And full stop at the end of the sentence because it's an affirmative statement. Okay, let's move to number 2. How, H must be capital at the beginning. Okay, how did. Okay, L in Lily must be capital because it's a name of a girl. Okay, how did Lily feel after visiting the gallery? Okay, and question mark at the end because this is a question and starts with question word. Okay, can you remember the answer of this question? Yes. Okay, she felt inspired. She felt excited after visiting the art gallery. Okay, now let's move to a very important question. Okay, yes, and a lot of students have a lot of problems with this skill, which is writing. So write a paragraph of 60 words using words below. A visit to the art gallery. Okay, so this is called a narrative paragraph. What is the meaning of narrative paragraph? You are telling a story. Okay, so you are telling a story to a friend, for example. So this story could be informal one. Okay, so you can use friendly expressions or informal expressions. So let's visit the art gallery. So we need to start our paragraph with an introduction. Okay, so I am very interested. This is an introduction. I'm very, I'm sorry. I am very interested in art. I'm very interested in art. Okay, so my father took me to an art gallery yesterday. This is called an introduction. You didn't say any details about your visit to the art gallery. You just told us that you are interested in art and your father took you to the art gallery yesterday. So let's talk about this visit in details. Okay, so let's change the color. Green is okay. The next step is the body paragraph. Okay, so what did you do in the art gallery? Okay, so I saw a lot of art, okay, works. Okay, I saw huge paintings, okay, on a canvas. Okay, I saw huge paintings on canvas. Okay, yes, I also saw a strange sculpture. Okay, yes, we walked into a room, okay, with a lot of pictures. Okay, my mom said about one picture, it's a truly, okay, it's a truly masterpiece. Okay, so these are the details about your visit to the art gallery. So let's end our paragraph by a conclusion. Okay, so you can say that you enjoyed your visit. Okay, so I enjoyed, okay, my visit. Okay, and I was inspired. I was inspired, okay, to draw a picture right away. Okay, I'm sorry you will find it a bit difficult to read the last two words, but they are called right away. Okay, thank you so much, Junior 6 students from all over Egypt. See you next time, inshallah.